Hi folks, Yad here. I wanted to quickly walk you through what is going on with this code base, this what I call a structured workspace. So essentially, you can think of it like a code base. However, these coding agents, to be specific, I'm talking about Claude Code here. And then after that, I'll briefly mention Gemini and anti-gravity as their CLI. But specifically, Claude Code and all the other coding agents have something specific to them. The agent tries to look for a map. It's almost like a navigational type of agent, meaning that it tries to explore the file system and then it goes up a layer, try to look for the processes or things that are running on the system. And then eventually when it tries to connect or run a piece of code, it kind of goes into a semi-infinite or rather a while loop type of thing. So those are like the way I would think about them. Those are like the units of compute that the coding agent plays around. So knowing that allows you to actually create what looks like just a file structure and a bunch of text documents, but really it is somehow creating these sort of mazes for the agent to be able to easily navigate and kind of change the way it behaves. Okay, so what do we have in front of us? So Claude Code specifically uses this file called Claude.md. In other agents, use something called agents.md. Okay, so what's the significance of this file? It is pretty much the file that the agent uses to understand what is going on at all time when you are interacting with it. So it is actually really important to have this file be almost like the hidden layer. I don't know how, I don't know what terminology would stick here. I don't want to use deep learning term, but it is almost the kind of so I think, like I would say, it's basically the piece of information that you don't have to explicitly mention to the coding agent that, hey, I want you to do X, or when I say this is really what I mean. So that's what that file is used for. So you can actually expand that out. You can expand that out to create almost a mini environment. And so in this example in front of me, I have a file that's called discoveries, and one of them that's called lab, and then the other one is called proposed approaches. So what, again, like the question is, so what? How is this helpful? Well, it turns out to go from asking your agent. So actually, let me show you an example. So this is what asking this question, what is this code base about, to anti-gravity, which uses the model Gemini 3.1, very powerful model, but the agent is actually not that good. Why is that? Well, it's just not really good at doing that extra effort, that extra step, where it's pretty much in the language of agents, it's just another tool call. It's an extra sort of LLM sort of call. It doesn't do that. However, the command line level, or specifically Claude Code, not only does that extra step, but if I ask the same question, which is what is this code base, it will go into all these steps. It basically does some grep, it looks up 100 files, it ignores things, it goes like, oh, I shouldn't be looking at node modules. So how is this possible? Why is this possible? Well, that is the beauty of this specific coding agent, Claude Code, because it has been designed to utilize the language model and these little context documents, this sort of structured workspace that you provided to use it. Okay, so that's a lot of words. And so one of the things that I also like to do if you are going to be playing around with this code base is that not only get Claude Code to explore the code base to answer your questions and to do sort of exhaustive type of tasks, but you can actually have the agent to utilize its own built-in multi-agent system. And so specifically for the challenge today, the sparse parity, one of the things that I ended up being able to do, by the way, the repository, not only this documentation, it comes a website that I will share the link to, and this will walk you through all the available lectures, meetups, talks, things that are happening. And it contains a toolkit that will fetch the Telegram, but also the Google Docs and any other source to be introduced. I went over time, my 5 minutes, but I will excuse myself for one more minute to show you something. So what you can actually do, you can get your agents to not only perform one task, but in this nature, in this structured workspace, you can actually have the coding agent to generate hypothesis. So you can make it become like this hypothesis generator based on the problems that you're trying to solve. And instead of having that main agent solve the problem, you can have what the way Anthropic is introducing it is called sub agents, meaning that it's a LLM within this mini loop, but it has no external information, so it doesn't cheat. It's a good way to actually be able to not only replicate but actually get an idea. I was like, oh, I guess I can use backtracking to go after this sort of problem, or the Gaussian elimination, or any of these other problems that have been tackled here. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. If not, please ask away. If you ask any questions in Telegram, this agent have access to it when I pull it, or if you set it up, it will be able to create an FAQ and you can, yeah, contribute. Awesome. Peace.